or ready built. This is off plan, like we go. Yeah, this is off plan. You can see it going that way. That's off plan. Yeah, that's how off plan goes. And there it eventually gets ready, and this is ready build. You just meet it there and it's fine. So that's what we're talking about this evening. Off plan, already built. You can watch the process as it's going on, or you can have it perfectly fit and ready, pay and pack in, or pay and move in like we normally call it. So thank you once again for connecting to our weekly session. I say good evening to everyone, local and in diaspora. We welcome you to another edition of Invest with Clarity. And the purpose here is to simplify real estate investment so you can make informed, profitable, and confident decisions. Make informed, profitable, and confident decisions. And I'm so delighted to have you join us. Well, if it is your first time, welcome to the Meaningful Realtors family. We appreciate you connecting with us, and we don't take your time for granted. At Meaningful Realtors, we believe something very simple. Something very simple, and it is that people don't lose money because real estate is bad. No, people don't lose money because real estate is bad. Instead, people lose money because they invest without enough information. Information is king, and I'm very sincere. Like I say every week, I want to be very vulnerable here, because why we're doing this is not because we just suddenly got here. We are doing this because we want so many people not to get into not to pass through what we passed through, right? Not to pass through. I made mistakes. I made uninformed decisions. I fell culprit to, the what you call omonile. I fell culprit to even to fake. Sorry to use the word, but fake developers. Yes. So I'm coming here to share with you and to help you make decisions that are based on proper information. We're not here to impose decisions on you, but we're just here to educate you, to give you enough enlightenment that can help you make the right decisions. And that's why we organize this session. So today's topic is particularly important because many Nigerians, both home and abroad, always ask the question, should I buy an off-plan property or should I wait till it is completed? That is a question that many Nigerians and many of our people are making inquiries from us ask. Meaningful Realtors, should we buy off-plan? I would want to say clearly this evening that neither is wrong, neither is better than the other. It's all a function of a couple of things that I'm going to tell you, right? Because there have been different stories. Some have had success stories from either of the options. Others have had horror stories. Yes, others are still waiting years later for properties that were never delivered. But some people bought off-plan and they've doubled their money. I have a client who bought an off-plan property for about 30 million thereabout. Currently, that same property is selling for about 150 million. That is barely less than 5 years ago. Yeah, it's not unlikely that client might be on this call. It's not likely. Well, she hasn't connected, but she's joined a couple of our calls. She bought an off-plan property, and in less than 5 years, she's got like about almost 500%. Something that she bought for about 32, less than 40. But currently, that same property in that location is selling for 120, 150. Yeah. So the stories are different. It's a function of a number of things. Right. On the other hand, many insist on buying only completed houses, yet sometimes they discover they paid significantly higher than early investors. Right. So who is right? The answer may surprise you anyway. I've already said it. Neither option is automatically better. It's all a function of your best investment depends on one, your objective. I was discussing with a co-realtor this evening, and she said our clients want something that it's not as if she doesn't have all the money, but she wants to pay in installment. That is what she wants to do. That gives you and you can't buy a ready-built property in installment, right? Most ready-built properties you pay for them outrightly. So your objective, the intention could be okay, I want to finance this with mortgage, or I have the capital, but I want to dualize the use of my capital while I'm building the house. I'm still using the money, part of the money, to do some other projects. So a number of things can influence your decision. I've mentioned your objective, your financial capacity. About a couple of webinars ago, I mentioned a young lady, barely 30, yeah, in the prime of her life, and she can buy a property in Banana Island, she can buy in Parkview, she can buy in those locations where you buy properties for 600 million, because she does an international job where she earns in foreign currency, converting it. So she's doing all that here, and she can buy, she decides to buy either off plan or ready built, either. So your objective, your financial capacity, your timeline. Remember the last time we talked about life stage real estate investment. That is, the stage of life that you are in is also very critical to what you do, the kind of investment you go into, as well as your risk appetite. Yes, your risk appetite. Your risk appetite, in the sense that and I'll explain that as we go on into the off plan and the description of off plan and ready build. So what exactly is off plan? What exactly is off plan? Off plan simply means buying a property before construction is completed. Sometimes before the foundation is laid, sometimes while construction is ongoing. You can decide, it depends. Sometimes when only architectural drawings exist, you only buy the 3D of the developer. He shows you the 3D and he says, oh, this is good, it's going to be very nice, and he sells it. In fact, I have a developer friend who builds in a brown location. A brown location is an area that is undergoing second phase of development. In places like Antony, Surulere, Yaba, all those areas are brown locations. So even some part of GRA, when they pull down old buildings, most times, right, my developer friend, before he starts any construction, is already sold out. A number of times before he starts, either 50% sold out. There are others that are completely sold out even before he starts, right? So when you're buying off plan, you are most times buying into the vision of the developer. You are buying into your belief, your confidence in the developer. So a critical element of off plan purchase is the developer. Anyway, whether it's ready built or off plan, the developer is very critical. So in essence, you are investing in the developer's promise to deliver according to agreed specifications and timelines. And examples of such buildings could be apartments, could be terraces, could be fully detached houses, could be commercial development, could even be estate projects, right? That's off plan. So simply put, off plan is that you are buying into the confidence you have in the developer that it will deliver what it is showing you, because you can't touch it, you can't see it, right? It's only telling you it's going to look like this, or this is, we have laid the foundation, or we are already a little and all that, but you don't have a ready structure that you're buying into, the fully completed structure. So now that's about off plan. Now what is a ready built property? A ready built property is much simpler. The property already exists. You can see it, you can see the door, you can see the entrance, you can see the gate, you can inspect it, you can touch it, you can walk through, right? You can verify the finishing, you can see everything, the taste, everything, right? You can move in immediately and you can rent it out immediately. Either that is ready built. I'm sure that now clarifies it. So when you hear off plan, when you hear ready built, it's actually nothing to, but what we're trying to look at is that what are the things that you need to know before you go into off plan, right? So the next thing we want to look at, why do developers sell off plan? Why do developers sell off plan? Many people actually think developers sell off plan because they don't have money. Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Even the biggest developers, global developers, still sell off plan. Dubai is a location where you have global developers, and yet you still see most of their projects are off plan. That means, so it's not necessarily a function of money. But why? Because it helps. The reasons are because, number one, it helps them raise construction capital. It also measures market demand. When you're selling off plan, because you are only selling a concept, you can tweak it midway. You can say, okay, oh fine. In fact, I was in a session over the weekend. Yeah, at where was I? Where was that? Lagos Continental Hotel, right? And one of the facilitators, one of the Red Hand executives, was actually sharing with us when they had a project and they were going to start. They actually intended starting with a 3-bedroom apartment, but along the line, when they took the 3-bedroom apartment to market, it wasn't gaining traction. So they tweaked it and it came with 2 bedroom, something like that. And they saw that, oh, this is going to sell better than that. So off-plan gives you that opportunity to be able to test the market, to measure market demand. Also, it reduces financing costs because you are doing build as you pay, right? So it reduces financing costs on the developer, right? Also, you are able to build according to projected sale, right? You are able to build there is a developer who last year had a project, came out with that project off plan, and in about 18 days sold over 200 units of that project, right? There was never an intention to have a phase 2, but because of demand, they now have a phase 2 that has over 300 units of the same project, right? Bungalows. Over 200 units were sold in less than a month, about 18 days, and now they are currently having the phase 2 of that project that has over 300 units, and there is another one. There is a higher version that is coming up by that same developer. So off plan isn't a red flag. So for people who might be skeptical, off plan is not a red flag. I hope this point that I've given you makes it clear to you that why do developers do off plan? It's simply a financing model majorly. The other reasons are it helps you to raise construction capital. It helps you measure market demand, know, okay, what exactly is the market wanting. If they don't want my original concept, I can tweak it. But if it's already built and the market does not want it, there's nothing you can do about it. So the real question is, can the developer deliver? Can the developer really develop? So the question that you want to ask about, off plan, about other off plan already built rather, is, can the developer deliver? So we want to look now, what are some of the benefits of buying off plan? What are some of the benefits? Why would somebody want to buy off plan? Number one, lower entry price. Early buyers usually enjoy discounted prices. Yes, and that's supposed to be. Somebody who is buying into just a concept, not knowing where exactly, but so he's given the advantage of buying at a lower price. In fact, some investors use off plan as an investment strategy. If you're buying, let me give you an example. You buy a project at off plan at 60 million when nothing has started. As the project advances, the price increases. Some investors will just buy the moment the project hits like about 50%. At that point, the price might have doubled. They sell off and move on to the next project, and that is usually within a period of couple of months, depending on the developer. A project that has an 18-month delivery plan, for instance, if by the 9th month they have gone to as far as 50%, at that point the likelihood is that the price might have even increased by 100%, if not by, okay, let's say 70-80. In 9 months, make an ROI of 90%, you move on to the next project. So lower entry price is number one reason why some people, or number one benefit of buying off plan, right? Number two reason is flexible payment plan. Like I said, you pay, the developer builds as you pay. So you pay this amount, they build, you pay this amount. So instead of paying everything at once, many developers spread payment over 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months. In fact, it's actually an investment strategy. Number three reason is higher capital appreciation, and I've mentioned that in my explanation. Because you are entering early, you may benefit from market appreciation during construction. This is one reason many investors favor off plan, and I've explained that to you already. So choice of best units. When you're buying off plan, you have it's like what do they call it? Point and kill. You can say, oh, this is the one I want. Oh, I prefer this one. Oh, I prefer the side unit. Oh, I prefer, like I said, I mentioned earlier that I was discussing with a co-realtor whose client wants to buy one of the projects that we have in Ibadan, and already they're saying, okay, the developer is already offering, no, if for what you want, you can have the corner piece, right? So those are some of the benefits that you gain buying off plan. Early buyers often choose better views, better floors, better locations within the estate, better parking, preferred layout, but late buyers just choose what is left. Yeah, you choose what is left. So also with off plan, you get potentially high returns. Let me quickly run through again. Why do people buy off plan? Number one, lower entry price. Number two, flexible payment plan. Number three, higher capital appreciation. Number four, choice of best units. And number five, potentially higher returns. Entering at a lower price often creates stronger upside for resale or rental yield after completion. But there are risks to buying off plan, right? We've mentioned the benefits. Oh, you have at least, and these are just some of the reasons. The 5 I gave you are just some of the reasons. There can be more reasons. But now let's be honest, off plan is not risk free. Just like every investment, off plan is not risk free. Number one is delayed delivery. You have people that have, they say they paid for a project, right? And the developer promised 24 months, and this is 48 months. They are here to get their property. Delayed delivery and that can be for a number of things, right? Construction may take longer for a number of reasons. Number one is inflation. Number two is material shortages, cash flow issues, regulatory approvals, economic conditions. Let me tell you the truth. My client that I say has a property who is based in Canada, that we manage the property for her. When she subscribed to that property, midway or past midway, after they have paid more than 50%, the project has not taken off. Why? Regulatory approvals. Eventually, because of the magnanimity of, and I give kudos to this my developer, right, to this developer partner that we have, out of his magnanimity, this client actually paid for a terrace, but because of that delay, the developer offered a semi-detached instead. I mean, applause for my developer. Applause, right? So those are some of the reasons that you gain. I mean, those are some of the risks that are involved in buying off plan. Delayed delivery. Some delays are genuine, others are signs of poor planning. Yeah, like I told you, regulatory approval. You just assume, okay, in 3 months, but these 3 months can turn to 6 months, can turn to 9 months, and they are just there for political reasons or for whatever. The approval may not come through as at when supposed to be. So that's number one reason. Number one risk. The second reason is developer risk. Can the developer actually complete the project? Do they have the expert experience? Do they have the track record of starting and completing projects? Financial strength, completed projects. I mean, what is their pedigree? What have they done in the past? Like I told you, it is this same developer that I mentioned that gave my client the preference of, I mean, the benefit of taking a semi-detached instead of the terrace that they paid for. That they also developed, that also sold out over 200 units of bungalows in less than a month, because he has a pedigree and people can trust him, right? Also, documentation issues can be another issue with off-plan projects. Some investors pay millions without carefully reviewing allocation letters, sales agreements, development timelines, default clauses, refund provisions, and title documents. I had a client last year who did not go ahead with the transaction, all because the approval, the title document approval, was sitting on the officer's table in the government ministry. It didn't go through it. Though eventually that document came right, and the developer showed me. He was so sure. The developer was so sure he was going to get the approval, but the buyer, the client, was skeptical. He wasn't sure. So those could be, and I gave it to him. I didn't object to his decision, right? So that's another risk that you can suffer with buying off plan. Another risk of buying off plan is changes during construction. Changes during what you see, what you see about those people, those of you that buy online. In fact, I didn't even think of that earlier. Buying off plan is like buying online. What you see versus what you get, right? Finishes change, layout change, specifications change. A number of things can change in off-plan project. They will tell you it's going to be this dimension. By the time you see, is this what you showed me? When something happened, So that's another risk of buying off-plan. Changes during construction. But I think I mentioned earlier, maybe I didn't, but that could be an advantage for you buying off-plan. You can tweak the design and say, okay, make my storeroom smaller and make the kitchen area bigger. You can do all that with buying off-plan. So you need to understand what flexibility exists within the contract. You need to, when you are given a contract document, and that's one thing that many of us don't do. We get documents that we don't read. We just sign. Last week, or less than 2 weeks ago, I was a client who is currently based outside the country wanted me to sign a document for him. Right, out of duress, the developer's representative said I should sign the document. Well, I reluctantly signed, but at the last point, I told him I'll need to take a copy of this document for me to go and study what I am signing. He felt somehow, but I did that, and in reading through the document, I saw some areas that, oh, what about this and what about that? So changes during construction is another reason, is another, risk that you can suffer buying off plan. What are benefits of? We have looked at the benefit of off plan, the risk of off plan. We now want to look at the benefit of ready built properties. Now let's consider that. Number one reason is immediate possession. You can move in immediately or rent immediately, and cash flow starts almost immediately. But know that you pay immediately as well, right? Immediately. So there is the immediate element of ready built. You can take possession immediately, you can move in immediately, you can rent immediately, you can start earning immediately because you paid immediately. What you see is what you get. No changes at all. What you see is what you get. That's another benefit of buying off plan. And there's easier financing. You know, in mortgages, for instance, bank and mortgage institutions would rather finance a completed project than finance an off. You know, even for the mortgagor, right? That's the mortgage firm. It's a risk on their part financing off-plan projects. So they would rather finance a completed project. For completed project, you stand lower construction risk because construction has already been completed, and you can even bring in your structural engineer to do integrity tests on the structure before you go ahead. So a lot of uncertainties are already taken off. I mentioned that since you are taking immediate possession, you can also have immediate rental income. However, that does not mean that is everything. There are challenges to ready-built properties. What are the challenges to ready-built properties? Ready-built properties also come with their own challenges. Number one is higher purchase price. Right? We said earlier that somebody who is buying off-plan can enter a project at about 50 million, for instance. That same property, when it's completed, can sell for 120 million. Right? So it's now a function of, I'm ready. I don't mind. I just want to buy. I want to make sure that what I'm buying is what I'm getting. Sorry, we have a slight glitch here. Yeah, I want to be sure that what I'm buying is what I'm getting, so I don't mind paying a higher price. So that's number one challenge of buying off plan: higher purchase price. Number two is limited choices. Best units might have already been sold, and you're just buying what is left from what others have chosen for. Number three is less opportunity for construction state appreciation. Most appreciation have already occurred. Future growth depends more on the surrounding market. Yeah. There's a project currently that we're listing, and is off Admiralty, fully completed. The price is already fixed. While the price for that is already fixed, there are other similar projects that are coming up in the neighborhood that the prices might likely catch up with that and might even overshoot it, whereas the price for this is already fixed. So, which one makes more sense? The answer depends on you. The answer depends on you. So I'll just do a quick comparison here. Off-plan for off-plan, larger upfront payment for ready builds. Number three, higher appreciation potential for off-plan, immediate usability for ready builds. Number four, higher uncertainty for off-plan, lower uncertainty for ready builds. Number five, longer waiting period for off-plan, whereas for ready builds is immediate occupancy. Number six, suitable for patient investors, or patient investors, rather, people who want to wait, who are willing to stay. But whereas ready build is suitable for immediate needs. Do you notice something? Neither column says better. Neither of the options says better. They simply suit different investment objectives and different investor types, right? So who should consider off plan? Let's look at it now. Who should consider off plan? Number one, you have a longer waiting period. You have longer investment horizon, you are comfortable waiting, you want to maximize capital appreciation, you prefer structured payment plans, you are buying primarily for investment. Those are the kind of people that we want to consider off plan. Whereas for ready build, who wants to buy ready build, right? You need immediate accommodation. You want immediate rental income. You want someone to start earning immediately because you have the money to pay. So you want to start earning immediately. You prefer certainty. You don't like maybe, oh, this is what I buy, but that's what I ordered versus what I got. No, you prefer certainty. Also, you dislike construction risk, and you are relocating soon. So you want to ensure you are buying ready build. Now note this: for either off-plan or ready build, your due diligence is non-negotiable. Your due diligence is, what are your non-negotiable due diligence steps? Whether you are buying off-plan or ready build, please never skip due diligence. Ask these questions, list them as I mentioned them. Number one, who owns the land? What title exists? Has the developer completed similar projects? Are approvals in place? Is the payment structure documented? Are timelines realistic? Somebody's telling he's going to finish a 5-story apartment building. He's going to do it in 12 months. Hey, red flag. Are timelines realistic? And what happens if delays occur? The answers matter more than whether the property is off plan or completed. And where do we come in? Where does Meaningful Realtors come in? This is where we add value. At Meaningful Realtors, you see, we don't believe in pushing clients toward a particular product. Remember, I told you, we're not doing this out of we just want to do it. We're doing it out of what experience garnered over the years, fingers that have been burnt, both personally and even some of the clients that we have. Right? We believe in helping you make the right decision for your own financial goal. So our role is to understand, number one, your investment objective. For those who probably have reached out to me, either for consulting, I tell them the number one question I ask is, what is your investment objective? So evaluate available opportunities. What are the opportunities that are available? You review documentation, will help you do that. Our role is to help you explain potential risk for either of the option that you want to go for, to compare available options, and to guide you through the entire investment journey, because we believe that you're buying property, you're not just buying property, it's an investment, and we are your investment, your number one investment advisors. We have property marketers second, but number one, we are investment advisors. I tell people I'm not a money level. I don't sell land, and I invest. I advise you with leveraging my banking background, right? And that has taught me that every investment should begin with proper risk assessment, not emotion. My last unit where the directory where I worked in banking was in risk management, right? So risk assessment is very, very important. Between my experience in banking and my partner's experience as chartered accountants, we bring over 40 years of combined financial services to every investment conversation. And that means we don't simply ask, what property do you want? The question we ask is, what are you trying to achieve financially? I hope that's clear. What are you trying to achieve financially? That is the most important thing. And on a final note, we want to say, whether you are choosing off-plan or already built, both can create wealth, both can preserve wealth, both can generate income. The difference is not the property type. The difference is the quality of the product, the credibility of the developer, the property documentation, the professional guidance that you get from Meaningful Realtors, and alignment with your own investment objective. Those are the things that are very, very important. So real estate is too important to be driven by hype. It should be driven by informed decisions, and that's why our message remains the same. Don't invest because everyone is buying. Invest because you understand what you are buying. I say that again. Don't invest because everybody is buying. Invest because you understand what you are buying. Very, very important. So at this point, I want to say thank you once again for joining us. If you are considering investing in Nigeria, whether you are here or in the diaspora, we'll be very happy to guide you on your journey through this investment decision-making process. We'll be willing to guide you. And I tell people, even if you're not going to buy from us, we can consult for you. You can sound us out. Let's have a conversation. Book a one-on-one investment consultant with Meaningful Realtors. My number for those who are connecting with us for the first time is +234 703 091 0000. I go with that again. +234 703 091 0000. Yeah, that's the meaningful number. We'll help you evaluate opportunities objectively, compare available options, identify potential risks, and choose an investment strategy that aligns with your goal. Because at Meaningful Realtors, we don't sell properties. We help people make meaningful real estate investment decisions. That's what we do at Meaningful Realtors. And I want to say this evening, thank you for joining. I look forward to hearing from you. I appreciate all those who connect with us on a weekly basis. Thank you so much. We don't take your presence for granted. We appreciate you. Oh, somebody is Xiaomi. That's I don't know the name there. King Arthur, thank you for connecting. Property Mama, Madam Ann, thank you for connecting. Korede, thank you for connecting. Lola, Anu, Ajayi, thank you. My one and only wonderful performing mentee, Funke Odriga, thank you for connecting. Uncle Ayo, thank you for connecting. Oluyemi, thanks for connecting. I appreciate you. Mercy, I appreciate you. And Auntie Joma, thanks so much for connecting. Thank you so much to everyone who connected with us this evening. We look forward to see you again. Same time, same channel next week on Invest with Clarity by Meaningful Realtors. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.